Alright, well, I thought I'd do a video in and about where I'm at with the V. So, what I had to do with the V, okay, so let me start here. Alright. The first thing I should probably do is, I've committed to the tailpiece on the guitar. And I've committed to the holes for the pickguard. So I can pop those off and show you. In order to make this pickguard work, because this guitar was not created for this pickguard, I had to alter the body. I routed out the cavities inside the body in order to fit this pickguard, and I did that with a Dremel. I used the plunge router attachment on a Dremel. This isn't glued yet, so there's my neck. And then if I pop this off of here, what I had to do in here is I had to route out all this area in here in order to fit this stuff inside the cavity, the switch, and all of this. And then also, because this guitar kit was not meant for this pickguard, I had to route this edge here inside the pickup cavity, which is hard to see, but I had to route an edge right there, and I had to route all this out over here. And I didn't have like a particular router or anything, so I used just a plunge router attachment for a Dremel, which is kind of this thing here. It's just the Dremel plunge router attachment. It did work, but I can't say it was the best. It did function. Now, what else I did is it's very difficult to try and get some geometry off of all of these angles. So there's no real like square edge to go off of. So what I did is I took as many square edges as I had, and I lined everything up off of this square edge, was there, a square edge. So basically I could get as square as mounting capabilities as possible. So from there I did a mock-up with some string and whatnot, and I basically mocked up, I used some string, and I mocked up some basically some lines, and I committed to a placement of the pickguard because I got the pickguard pretty well aligned. I had the neck dry fit on here, and I got the pickguard pretty well aligned. From there, I was able to set my tailpiece into where I liked it. I did not go by the symmetry of this guitar, because what I found out is that this V is cut oddly. I mean, this guitar was made in China, and this side of this V is larger than that side of this V. So it was throwing me off. I kept trying to find the middle and this and that. I couldn't find it. I ended up having to go off of the pickup routes because those are going to fall in line. You're going to want your strings over the top of your pickups, and then you're going to want them to fall in line with your neck. So that being said, I committed to my tailpiece here. So now I can put two strings in here. I can align them in the two E positions, and I can align my neck because there is just the slightest bit of travel in my neck. It's a pretty tight pocket, but there is a little bit of travel. So when I glue, I will have, now I haven't committed to my bridge yet, because I want to make that very precise. This pickguard did not come with holes for my bridge, which is actually a blessing in disguise. So now that I have my pickguard fit and I have my tailpiece, I'm going to put 2 strings on here, which will align my neck, and I'm going to glue my neck. That's pretty much going to be my next step. Once my neck is glued and set and lined with my mock strings that I'm going to put on here, then I can get a very precise measurement of where I want that bridge. Now, this bridge is terrible. It's a piece of junk. I'd like to upgrade to another, but that's an extra cost, and I just don't have that option right now. So I'm going to get this as darn near close as I can. Maybe in the future I can upgrade to a better ABR1 and it'll have a bit more travel in it, but I want to get that right where it's going to want to be for the 24 3/4 scale that it needs to be. So I think that's going to work. I had to push this up in the pocket a little bit because this talon actually wanted to sit further up here because this guitar was meant to sit with a pickup ring. However, I compensated for that, and I think if this had sat back another 1/4 of an inch or so, this tailpiece would have been a little further, and the bridge might have sat just a little bit further up. However, I brought it back a little, and I brought the tailpiece up a little, and the bridge is going to be up a little, and I think that should work out just fine. In preliminary mock-up, it seemed to be okay. So we'll see when I get there, and hopefully that'll work. Of course, you know, I mean, if it doesn't, well, I'll just fill the holes and I'll start over, basically, because I plan on painting this guitar. So if I had to fill the holes and re-drill them, it really wouldn't be a problem because I'm just going to paint it. So I have grain filler for the guitar, which I'm going to grain fill after the fact, and that's where I'm at. So it does have a little bit of a strange pocket on it. It doesn't look, I don't know if you'd call it very Gibson-y, but you know, it looks okay. That's what it'll look like when I get there. So that's where I'm at with the V. Getting some progress. The next thing I'm going to do is probably glue the neck, and then I'm going to grain fill everything, and then try and also get these holes drilled. So probably glue the neck, make these holes, land those, what do you call them, the inserts, and then grain fill everything, and then, you know, start on paint work. So that's where I'm at. Thanks for watching, and check back.